two souls intertwined for all eternity. Their flames unite and explode in a ball of fire known as love, I guess. Who cares? Weddings are bullshit. Let's do it. So I'm Dan.
And I'm Nick, folks.
We're old friends dissecting one topic at a time. People, technology, media, we've got it all covered.
Each discussion here is a deep dive into our unique perspective. The taboo, forbidden subjects, they're all on the chopping block, baby. We don't pander to popular opinion. We might even get a little bit dirty.
Warning, this podcast may contain mature language and sexual content and is for infotainment purposes only.
So join us. Have a good time.
Open up your ear holes, because we're going to fondle your follicles.
Buzz. They're live, folks. We're live.
Yeah, and I don't really mean that. Some weddings are beautiful, majestic, unbelievably expensive, and I don't know why.
They are expensive.
So we're going to talk about, I guess, parties in general, and
we can talk about weddings first, because I feel like
expensive.
we're not going to have that much to talk about with weddings, right?
Maybe.
Okay.
Because you're not wed.
Correct. But I've been to over 15 weddings.
That's quite good. Mostly women's side, female side?
It's probably almost split at this point. I think I've been to I went to roughly 10 with my ex. I've been to a few cousins, a few other relatives, an aunt. Yeah, I've been to probably actually closer to 20 plus. I love weddings.
I think I've been to maybe 10. Mostly relatives. Yeah, that counts as one. And you were there for my side, luckily.
I was. Mm-hmm.
I'd be really confused if you were there for her. My maid of honor, Nick.
Speak now or forever hold your peace. I'm saying something. Everyone turns. I love Dan.
Get him out of here.
Remove this man. I don't know him. Yeah, so weddings are... It's like the big thing, right? It's like the ultimate party or something?
Something like that. I guess the point I'm going to hark on continuously is that I don't understand why people spend so much money doing it or why things cost as much as they do. And then, the show of love, it's like, I get it. You're supposed to, prove that your intentions for each other are accurate and no one else can wed your wife or your man or whoever you're trying to keep away from other people. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're like, I'm looking at you, Bill. You're not going to get at this one. So we're going to profess our love in public. And then they do a ceremony thing where, they do the I do's and they light a flame together. They release butterflies or moths or...
Did you guys... yeah, never mind. You didn't do... I love the Virgin Mary one. In supremely Catholic, I want to say, weddings.
Oh, where you have to sit there for a full hour?
Yeah.
Oh,
the bride has to slowly walk over to the Mary statue, wherever it is, and then kneel at it and pray for a while, in silence. I don't know what she's
awkward
doing
silence. Praying.
It's a long silence. Anyway, I've only been to a few that had that, but that's a goodie. That's a keeper.
I've heard that there's...
Tom. Yeah. My roommate of 90 years. I think Debbie did it. What a loser.
Did you ask her what she prayed for? A long and happy marriage. Come on, Mary. Come on, Mary.
Nah, I was busy getting smashed on that bus. Woo! Yeah. That's the other thing. I've been in a lot of weddings. I've probably been in 8 or 9 or so.
So there's a division there. The wedding I was recently at was beautiful. I'm not gonna criticize that one. But the one weird thing is that when you're in the wedding and they put people on a pedestal, you're on a stage essentially with all the bridesmaid, groomsmen, and bridegroom. It's weird because there's a weird divide, and you crossing that line seems weird. At the end, sure, it's fine, but in the beginning, people are off taking photos, capturing the moment, and there's a full 2 hours where you're waiting to maybe talk to somebody who's up on that stage. Yeah.
Right.
Or
I think a cool thing about that is that it lets the wedding party be with the wedding party, because throughout most of the other events, everything's flying by so fast, and there's 900 million people that want to take pictures and things. Can you help with? Hey, can you do this? You're supposed to meet over here. His mother's over here. She's really old. Can you help her? And then like 9 million people want to shake the bride's hand or the groom's hand, and someone wants to kiss the bride. And I think it's cool that you're in this thing called a wedding party. Yeah, they're just, it's the friends or the brothers or the real close group for a little bit.
Yeah,
it's weird, but I'm not against it.
Is it a true myth that they, like the groomsmen are there to make sure that the groom doesn't run away? I think
that's what it started as, because then that's why it was like, it's her brother, it's her father, it's her, you know what I mean? Like, it was not necessarily all your best friends.
And in most cases, they're paying a dowry, right? The woman would pay a dowry so that the man would take her on.
Woman? Yeah,
I think it was the woman's father, because she's like, get rid of this. I don't tired of her.
That's where paying for the wedding came from.
I think so, yeah.
Right? It's almost like the dowry again. Check that out.
Yeah. Luckily, I don't have a daughter. Well, I don't have to do it.
Yet.
There was a weird split. There was like how much does the groom's family pay for and how much does the bride's family pay for?
44%, I believe, was the bride's family. 41% is the bride and groom's family, or the bride and groom themselves pay for it. And then 4% was the groom's family. Did I memorize that? How sick am I?
Somewhere along that stat, which doesn't add up, but I think it's I saw like 11%. It was like the groom's family would pay for a majority.
Yeah, I wonder if one of the ones that they didn't list was like bride and groom help by bride's parents, help by groom's parents. You know, you could split it up.
Yeah. So I guess I could talk about my own wedding.
Yeah, go ahead. Go into your individual wedding as far as you want to go. It was awesome, right? You loved it.
I did. I most certainly did.
You had a great speech at it.
Yeah. Says this man who gave the speech.
Says this man. I've given a couple speeches too. I'm like a speechologist. I'm getting good at it.
I'm waiting for my turn here. No one wants me to give a speech. Fuck this shit, guys.
Waiting.
Who believes in marriage anyway? You're like, just kidding.
Wait. Who were your grooms? I know I was there. I literally. You think I remember?
Yeah.
Go over the names.
Let me see. We got. You were the dude.
Wrong.
What have I?
No, I was the dude.
Mitch, Sam, and then was there a third? I don't remember.
I thought there was someone else. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Like I said, when you've been to so many, someone watching you is like, "Damn you, Dan!"
It's weird because for me, I traveled away from all my friends, and then I had work friends, but the work friends they're just work people.
Friends.
Like you kind of periphery friends.
Yeah.
And then inviting them back to travel someplace that I was from, and getting everyone that you're originally friends with but you don't really talk to anymore, versus the people that are actually your friends, versus the people that are your work friends. They're it's a weird mix of people. And then the weight of people wanting things, like your parents, they want their friends there, but it's I've never met this one friend that you talked about. It's you never.
My best friend through thick and thin. I don't care.
Yeah. So you get some weird battling between the moms, and then how much each person gets, and the stupid stuff that people care about, like whether your name is etched on something or if you use real silverware, which is a big thing. My parents were they're really agitated by me giving plastic silverware to people.
I didn't even remember. Wow.
Yeah.
You plastic? No, not that I didn't remember because it was okay. It's not okay. I don't remember that you gave us the plastic shove off. Really? That's low. I'm with them. In fact, looking back, I enjoyed it less now. Yeah. Yours was at an old winery, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was an old winery in a barn. Lambrusco.
It's almost like
Like what? I'm bringing it back?
Yeah, a little bit. Maybe not on purpose. Maybe because it was there.
I don't know. Of all the things that you set up for your wedding, all the little shit doesn't matter. really doesn't. Like,
Of course not.
the only thing that would matter is good music and alcohol. If you
and who comes?
Yeah,
but that one seems obvious.
But
I mean, literally, who comes? Like, if you didn't invite your friends, it would be really weird.
Yeah, I don't know, like if like those like royal weddings where they're trying to marry two states together.
Yeah,
that would be just strange. Like, I guess the woman has no say in that anyway.
Right, and neither is the guy. Sort of.
I guess,
son.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like your son and your daughter, and you marrying them up. Woo!
Oh.
Someone at my work, a lot of my coworkers are from Greece.
Mm-hmm.
She's like always hitting on me and extra friendly, and she's in my age range, so I'm always like, I'm watching you. You know what I mean? But she's not from America, so I think some of her things come across too friendly, not friendly. You know, it's like I'm watching.
Yeah, it's a spattering of questionable.
Week, she's married.
Oh, that's nice.
And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, that's fine. I'm not, but it did not seem that way. And it turns out he's over in Greece, and he's coming over. And I'm like, I could never. Could you do that? I guess you could.
So I don't know
what your beloved
is that far away.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
Could you? Yeah,
for months at a time.
Could you turn a pen pal into a long distance relationship? Turn into getting married,
right?
Can you get married long distance? Is that allowed?
I think
you have to fill out the paperwork and sign it and then mail it off.
I'm not sure. Yeah. I think you have to be in each other's presence to be married. That's the whole witness thing, right?
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what we had to do.
Can people be married over the internet though? Like a live web streaming service?
Oh,
that's probably a thing. I imagine you could probably get married over a streaming web service by some kind of minister.
I'm envisioning like if an astronaut's on the space station and it's about to crash. It's like, but I wanted to get married to my betrothed, and they just webcam him, and he gets to party with some astronauts, but right before he dies.
Yep,
that's got to be legal.
I would think. Another thing to keep in mind is there are 2.5 million weddings a year in the United States alone.
Okay, 1% population getting married. A little less.
Yeah, I guess so. But you can only get married. Well, you don't have to get married just once, but oftentimes it's once. Do you have a success rate of marriage?
I thought it was like 50% get divorced.
Is it 50?
It's a high number. And then there's like starter marriages too. Like the people who just like get married when they're like 18. They're like, well, shit.
Yep.
5 years in, 2 years in. Next day, annulment. Not going to work.
The one I'm with, she was married at a very young age. Her family paid for, a lot of it. There was a whole big to-do. Friends, everybody came out. They had a great time. I think they did it in Vegas. The thing is now, if she were to do it again and get married, nobody's paying shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, no.
Did she give the gifts back?
It was years later.
Oh, okay. So it was long enough to keep the gifts.
Yeah, it was long enough where you can keep the gifts.
Calculated.
I know a couple people that were fiancéed and broke it off. I've never heard of a wedding day break off, but I want to say 2 months out from their wedding, I know someone. They broke it off. They have a kid together, and soonly thereafter, she was a month or two later. She was dating a guy. I'm not saying nothing.
It's a quick turnaround. I guess if you're faced with a direct comparison of someone who's better than who you have, what do you do?
I don't know about that. It could be. But I do want to say that they got married. And that was the last wedding I was at. Well, no. I was at one in Nashville. But before that, I was at their wedding. And it was awesome.
So did that person get the ring back from the cheater and then try to sell it? Or did they reuse it?
There was something about money and who owed who, and I was like, ooh.
See, that's awkward. Especially since most of the bride's family pays for it. They're going to be pissed the most.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Well, but she was the one who kind of broke it off. So, could she? It was a girl.
Yeah, but are you going to get the true story out of either party? How much do you trust? He did it to me.
Yeah. Well, here's the crazy part about this whole thing. When you marry, you tie two lives together financially, spiritually, I guess. Not really.
Emotionally, physically.
Emotionally, definitely. Physically, definitely. And familially, which is kind of the cool part.
It's cool if you have other familially. it's cool if you have other families that are decent. Like, would you marry someone who's a shit person, but they have like the best family ever? Like, I just want your family. I didn't want you.
So I was dating someone for like multiple years. I enjoyed her company. We were great together. We had a lot of fun. Went to a lot of sporting events. I loved her family. Like, her dad was like practically my dad. Her mom, all her friends, all these weddings we went to. I was loving life. All her friends were like my best friends, but they were really hers. And at one point, I was like, I don't really want to date you anymore, but it kept going on. And at some point, I was just like, I don't want to leave her family and her friends and everyone else. It was like almost like...
Yeah, there's that weird rift. Not like who gets which friend. And it's like, but they were my friend for real. But I was like, but they're a better friend to me. And then the friends have to decide.
Let the record show. I let her keep everything. And that still wasn't enough. So we'll leave it at that.
I don't think that you can win that battle.
No, you can't. It's her friends originally anyway. Like, if you try and stick around or try and like be friendly with all these people still, it's weird. It puts stress on them.
So what about like shitty weddings? Like, you've probably gone to a wedding that just felt weird or didn't have something.
That were kind of duds. They were like real lame. Early ended like 9 p.m. Like the food was. I don't really remember them that much.
I guess that's.
Like, I don't remember them.
When I go to a wedding, I kind of expect everyone to go all in because, like, how often does this happen? Like, really, it's like maybe twice a year. So it's exactly what I do. I'm like expecting people to stay up until at least when the bar closes.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. That's when wedding after parties are wild. Like, the
merging of different weddings, and they start hanging out and saying like, hey.
But it's crazy. Like, you see someone's father. He's wearing a suit. You met him once the day before for an hour at the rehearsal dinner, and you just said a couple nice things to him. But then, like, you see him on the wedding day, and everyone's getting smashed, and you and him are high-fiving and laughing about something. You're both waiting in line for drinks. Now he's like your BFF. He sees you across the hall. He's like 60 years old. And he's like, yo, Nick, remember? Blah, blah. And he does the thing from like 10 minutes ago. It's like an inside joke we just created. And I'm like, yo. So then you see him 4 hours later, and everyone's so smashed. People wearing ties around their heads. It's last call at the bar. We're in the hotel lobby. Only like 14 people are left, and they're all in disheveled shape and a mess. And everyone's like, where'd Marty go? He didn't make it back. You know, people are going crazy. And I see the dude, and I do the thing again. And he's like, he's dying laughing. He has to buy me a drink. And I see him the next day. He's like, Nick. And I'm like, ew. And like, it's weird because it's like you create these super best friends, but it's so quick. I don't really know them. But they're like my besties. That's how I party. I don't know. That's how I do weddings. I go hard. I dance. I dance with the old ladies. I dance against the kids. Like, you know, you're supposed to let a kid win.
Take him out.
A little 5-year-old girl. I'm like trying to do my little fancy footwork. And the cameraman hates me. Yeah, I split it up a little bit.
See, now some of these weddings rely, like the ones you're enjoying thoroughly, they rely on people being open to doing those sort of things. And I've been to weddings where it's just like the people who are supposed to dance are defined by a clear delineation of age. And it's like the older people, sometimes they don't get on
the dance. About the hey, everyone on the dance floor if you're married. Yeah, that's what I like to see. Hey, keep dancing if you've been married for over 10 years out there. Yeah, let's hear it. Wow, that's incredible. Hey, keep dancing if you've been married for 25 years out there. This is incredible, man. That's great. Job. Hey, keep dancing if you've been dancing for 50 years. And then everybody goes, whoa. And there's like two couples. And then the guy has to try and guesstimate how long they've been married. He's like, keep dancing if you've been married for 63 years. He's just trying to find the right number.
We've got to hurry this up in 75 years. And they're like calling them as they get off the dance floor. Yeah,
really, they just can't hear. They turned off their hearing aids.
So that happened at the previous wedding I was at. And then once they were done dancing, I didn't see any old people on the dance floor. I don't know how they got them on the dance floor to begin with. Like cattle prods or something.
It's probably a process.
Yeah.
Our friend, our mutual friend Ryan liked to do chug and groove. Have you ever done that at a wedding?
No.
It's where you put a a cup in the middle, like on a chair or something, and everyone stands in a circle. And as the music's playing, one person will walk up to the cup and do a dance, like they dance up to the cup and chug from it, and then put it back, and then they do their move back out, and then someone else's turn to go in, and everybody eventually is chugging from one cup. It's called like chug and groove.
So there's a version of this at another wedding where it's like a spin the bottle, but you get picked, and then you do your little dance, and then you pick up the bottle and you spin it again, and then someone else does their little thing. I like the chug and groove idea. There was a moment in the wedding I was just at that I was like, I need to grab a bottle because this would be a perfect time where everyone's in a circle and people are all being awkward. And I was like, you need to spin a bottle and just get the awkward people in it. But there was like plasticware, so you couldn't you weren't allowed to have any bottles.
Another one of those weddings.
Yeah. So it was tough. I don't know why. Another weird
why someone would go plastic instead of silverware? I know why. Okay.
Another weird part was that I guess the county we were in, it required that you had a police officer from that county at your wedding, and he was like walking around the building, like poking his head in.
I never heard.
Yeah, and he was doing nothing. He was just standing there watching. I guess that's like a way to get overtime, get paid better.
I got my first ticket for turn on red.
Red wine? What?
I made it right on red.
And you actually got a ticket for that?
Yeah, I've probably done it close to 7,000 times in my life. Right where it says no turn on red, you just look left, you look right, and then you turn on red. It's very easy.
Oh, yeah. Those are bullshit anyway. Does that cost you like $200? $140.
And I was like, oh, this guy. And then the cop was a real dick, and he's writing me up my kids in the back, and that's the whole reason I got the ticket is because I kept turning around and cheering on my son, telling him I'm glad we're going shopping, we're going to get hot dogs, and we're going to cook hot dogs or something. I forget even what it was.
You never went. God damn.
No, we still went.
Good.
But it was just like how I kept looking around back at him. Otherwise, I spot cops. I can smell cops a mile away.
I gotcha.
Pulls me over.
You became a regular person, Nick.
Ticket. Yeah, it was awful. And then another cop saw him, so he pulled over. And now I'm like, oh god, is my info up to date? Do I have my ID today? Am I gonna get shot? Because I like funk music. I was still playing it. And as he came a little close to the car, I lowered it a little bit.
He's like, do I smell something? He's like, that's funk.
Yeah, that's some goddamn lowdown funk, pal. That's the new master sounds. That's British funk. Are you okay? You want to get down? And he didn't say anything. He's giving me the ticket. I know he's going to write it up anyway because he just looks like a dick. And the other guy came up and he's all tatted up and he's kind of cool and he's like shirt's undone. And the other cop, and he came over and he's talking to my son. He's like, hey, you all right, little buddy? You want to take a picture with the cop car? He's being all nice. He's being like the coolest dude. And I was like, thanks, man. He was scared for a little bit. Thank you. And the guy was like, it's cool. He said, are you cool? Is he bothering you? And he was talking about the other cop. He didn't say bother, but he said, like, is getting you? Like, what's he doing to you? And I was like, nah, I think I'm cool. And then he went, and he walked away. And it turns out I had the chief of the police for the and the chief can't let you go because that's a bad precedent. Yeah. But if I had just gotten pulled over by the cool dude with the tattoos, I wouldn't be saying here, hey, chief, I had sex with your wife if you're watching this. Enjoy. Okay? Anyway, I probably got to pay $140. We'll see.
You been holding that on your chest for a little while?
Yeah, it felt good to get it off.
Oh, good.
Chief.
Pal.
I hope he watches. Pal. Anyway, sorry. Derail from wedding.
Yeah.
Why would a cop be at a wedding? Cops ruin everything.
I was assuming that...
Unless it was the tattooed cop. That guy was cool.
No. I'm assuming that they're like watching for drunk drivers, or maybe he's like seeing who drinks too much, and then they're just like on their ass. Just making sure that they don't like give out too many drinks. Like that seems ridiculous though. At a wedding...
That's stupid too. Weddings weren't supposed to go.
I've seen so many people get so blasted at weddings, and that's the fun part. You're like, you remember that time you just passed out on the floor and everyone was dancing around you? It's like... We had to drag you off the floor, and they're like, "I don't remember any of that."
You got me, guys.
That can't be real. That didn't happen, did it? Yeah, it did. Most certainly did.
We have pictures. We have a lot of pictures. A cool thing is also the average cost of the wedding. Did we go over it?
About $30,000.
You want to tell? Yeah, $30,000 to $35,000 in the United States, at least in 2016.
So
it's expensive.
Yeah. And there's a breakdown here.
My man got the numbers. I haven't looked at it since. I just haven't looked at it, like glanced at it. So why don't you pull it up and give me a little bit of a taste?
These vary greatly depending on what you do, where you are.
This is just generalizations.
Yeah. So the venue, I think for mine it was like $6K or something, but the average is like 13.
So you cheaped out? No? Check mark. Cheaped.
Was value driven? Yes. Yes, indeed.
Value driven.
So that sort of makes sense because the people that are getting drunk, there needs to be like an alcohol license and the liabilities on them. So if the more people that are getting drunk, the more liability.
You're also spending the most time there.
True.
I mean, it's literally a time you're paying for
the time, yeah.
In a place.
Like a banquet hall or something.
Mm-hmm.
And they include the engagement ring in this. Most people are spending $6K almost on an engagement ring.
Really? Okay. Is that where you were?
Not below that.
Value driven. Keep going.
Honestly, though, for a woman's wedding ring, why does it have to have a diamond on it? Can't it just be like a man's?
Geez.
Is that weird? Would that be weird if you're like, let's wear the same ring, honey? It'll make me truly love each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's Cracker Jacks.
Yeah.
I found this one at the bottom.
Ring pop. But could you do, like, if you were to propose, you'd have to probably put, like, a multiplier on whatever like, this can't cost that. I don't even remember how much this would cost. I bought spares. Just in case. So, it's like a
$6K for a diamond ring?
Somewhere in that range, yeah.
Damn.
It's ridiculous. I don't know why you need to profess your love like that. And then...
You know why? We talked about this on our previous episodes because it's ridiculous and there's no other reason for it than to profess your love. Like, there's no practical reason someone would have that.
It's a status thing?
Stone. Yeah. And the status alone is like saying, hey, I love you so much, I'm willing to do a stupid status thing for you.
But isn't that like the wedding overall, though? I mean, if you're going to do some gigantic bash, you're trying to show everyone that, like, your bash is the best. Which is sad to begin with because the best bashes happen in college when you have no money. Which we're going to touch on later.
We're coming up to.
So the band.
What's next?
The band
is that high?
$3,500 for a DJ. No, I don't think they're paying a DJ that much.
No, DJ is usually like $1,500 or something. I have no idea.
And I think a regular band probably has like what 4 to 5 members, maybe.
Right, depends on the band. The wedding bands always have the horn section. You got to have like James Brown songs and stuff.
Yeah.
What did you have? No,
I had like shout out to Philly Horn Band. I think there was like 10 members. Mm-hmm. They were good. They were getting the crowd going. So that was one of the keys is that they're pulling people in.
Crazy? I've been to 2 other weddings with them.
Oh yeah? If they're that solid?
Yeah, they're good, dude. And that's why once you said their name, I was like, he had them. That's right.
Yeah, cool. It's worth it to get a live band because there's so many people that probably if it was a DJ they'd just be like, oh, it's a song. But a live band, the guy's like screaming in your face and be like, whoa, and then like they're belting out like Whitney Houston songs and it's just like.
It depends on the band, but that band has such range because it's like a black and white thing. It's got horns. It's got other horns. It's got like 3 guitarists, a woman singer, a man singer. So like you're covered. Like you got everything.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
It was good. Nice. Photos, like 2.4K. A lot of people ask for like 3K, but it's just like you spend a day taking pictures, and then like the only real thing that you're giving people is like a book.
Shit talk.
Photogs.
Yeah, photographer. Can I shit talk a photographer?
Please do. I don't understand why it would take 3K to do that. And some people have a photographer and a videographer, and the videographer is like the same amount of money. It's like you're paying like 5K for like those combination of people.
Those clowns. Say clowns. We can say clowns.
I can't believe it. It's not even like special equipment. You're trying to figure out how much it was. You're looking at photos right now?
This might be it.
So I'm going to go ceremony site. So sometimes a different spot. We didn't do that. Wedding dress. People spend like $1,200 on a wedding dress. Again, most of this is female centered, so it makes sense that the bride's father would pay for whatever the bride wanted because they're the ones that are spending the most money. They're choosing to spend that much money.
Damn. I was going to shit talk. So my sister paid for a photographer, and What did you say the number was? I think it was close to that number. The average.
2,400.
Yeah, it was probably like $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
They never gave him pictures.
What?
Yeah, they had to go to like the news, like you report bad business. He moved to Canada because he's a acclaimed company like 3CM or something. I forget what the name of the company is. I would shit talk him. And other people claimed he did the same thing in like that time frame. So my sister never got pictures from her wedding, like from a professional photographer, and never got her money back. So
wow.
They tried to sue him and all that, but he moved into Canada with like his mom or something. He claimed that his mom was sick and he can't pay and work on it and stop badgering him. You're bothering me. And they're like,
those files are all digital, and you just like send him an email, be like, "Ba-ding, here's your images."
Right. Unless he really didn't do it, or he just took the money, or who knows? I have no idea.
He's faking taking photos the entire night,
which is more work than really doing it. Yeah. Ba-ding, ba-ding. It was beautiful. Ba-ding. Someone blinked. Can we do it again? This guy's good. This guy's good. This guy's so good. Can we see? No.
I know.
Not until I'm done. Another crazy thing about weddings, it's a $53.4 billion a year industry.
Yeah, because if you tell somebody it's for a wedding, it doubles in price for some reason. Your food, your cake, your flowers, like all that.
Cake cutter? Your cake cutter costs money, doesn't it? Isn't it like ridiculously expensive?
A cake cutter?
$40? Yeah, it's a little triangle thing. It's like $30 or $40.
Someone did say to cut the cake that costs like $20 extra. It's cake cutting time, and then it's like, ba-ding.
Wait, is that a real thing?
No, but if you have a DJ or band, they're probably
I would get Michael Buffer to say it. I would have Michael Buffer say it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to cut cake. It would be pretty awesome.
Just one, yeah. He just comes in for that one moment.
Yeah. That's like $1,000. I gotcha.
Everyone would pay attention to that cake cut, though.
Yeah, they would. Do you know what the average age for people to get married is?
I heard that for females it was 29, and for males it was 31.
Yeah, my man. I'm already past my prime. I'm out. I'm not doing it.
You're going to bring up the average. How old was I? I was 30, I think.
30, probably? I don't know.
It's 30, I think.
How old was she? Is she still 16, or did she...
She graduated grade school.
High school? Oh, that's terrible.
No, that's not true.
The average wedding
She's older than me.
40 people.
She's older than me.
Old-timey.
So a lot of people are paying per seat. Like food, caterers. Caterers, mine cost for 110 people. It was like $10K, $12K, somewhere in that range.
Okay.
I'm surprised it doesn't have food on here for some reason. Maybe that's part of the venue.
That is odd. Maybe. Okay, venue probably.
But that, I mean...
What do you give as a gift when you go to weddings?
Cash.
No shit. How much?
$100.
You don't do 150 yet? Oh my god, my man living here in the past. We're at 150 now.
Oh, you're up to 150? That's the thing.
Yeah, it's the new thing. When I started going to weddings, it was like 100 a plate. Now it's 150. You gotta get with the times, man. Come on.
Fuck. I feel bad now.
Why did you just drop a 100?
That's all I had in my wallet.
Listen,
it's my spare. Right. It's my safety bill.
Who were they in relation to you? I'm sorry, I didn't.
A direct friend of mine.
Like a real friend or like a friend?
I'd say somewhere in the probably a real friend. I'll say real friend.
Are you worried he's watching, so he's not a friend?
No, no, I'm not worried about what it do things to me.
I know.
Because it was a woman.
I know. Oh. See, I'm sexist. I didn't think women could be friends. You've got me there.
Well, that's the barrier there. Is that a man trying to be a friend of a woman is going to have a difficult time because it gets like an awkward. I have a story about this.
Okay,
so
please.
There are maybe 2 or 3 women at my work that are married that I'm friendly towards, and I can't specifically ask them to do anything like with me. Like I can't just be like, you want to go to lunch?
Yeah, you can't be like, let's hang out. Yo, let's chill, dog. Let's play some Xbox. Come on.
Yeah.
Imagine if you could. Wouldn't that be weird?
Or even like, I live in an engineering world where it's like people are building things. So like I can't even like ask them to be like, can I go see what you're building? Like give me a tour of your lab.
Why not?
Like,
you can do that.
You can. I mean, I would think you can, but you're northern. I think the southern women are a little bit more uptight about it.
Absolutely right. You could be right about that. I didn't even consider that.
It's surprising me. So if you're a married woman in the South, it seems like you can't really have another male friend without like some eyebrows being raised.
This makes sense. Oh. Tell you what, the Greeks at my job wouldn't do too well in the South.
They get a little flirtatious. A coffee machine, is that a common point of interest? She wanders over and tries to make you a cup?
Oh my God, no. She's like old school Greek. Well, I guess Greek is old school.
She's French pressing it?
You be drinking. I tried to drink coffee and she's like, no, it has been on there for over an hour. We are making new pot. And I'm like, it's fine. It's just coffee. And she's like, no. And she grabbed it and threw it in the sink and threw it out. And I was like, I was going to drink it. And she's like, we will make a new pot. And then she goes and makes a new pot. And I'm like, okay. But then, like, with them, like, any of the Greek people at the job, not her, like, her, some of the guys, some of the other girls, like, when we're talking, they understand everything I'm saying. But then, like, I don't know where the conversation ends. They're like, is your day going good or bad? And I'm like, it's good. And they're like,
the awkward, like, they keep staring, eye contact.
Like, I'm gonna go do some paperwork, but I love them. They're cool. I'm figuring it out still. But maybe it's a Greek thing. Opa, ohi, malacca.
I thought opa's like a cheer, right? When you drink.
I actually don't know. I know ohi is no. Opa's probably a cheer. Kalimera. I think that's good morning. And then this one's a jerk off. Malacca.
Malacca.
You gotta learn the bad words. I forget what fuck is. They told me. I was using it for a while. I don't know.
Get it written down on a notepad?
No, I try and memorize it. That doesn't work too well. Here, to wrap up weddings, because I want to move on, I want to say that 10 couples that died on their wedding day was a really popular BuzzFeed article.
Mm-hmm.
The coolest one was death by speedboat. They were like cruising on their little pontoon or spiff or something, and an out-of-control speedboat went out of the way and just plowed
through the newly married couple?
Yeah. Yeah. Recently, in fact, on the news, this had nothing to do with our episode, a couple died in a helicopter thing because they wanted to be taken away from their venue via helicopter.
Right into power lines or something.
I think it crashed.
That's a shame and kind of ridiculous.
Stalker killed a couple? How crazy is that?
On their wedding night?
Well, think about it. That's when she's the most enraged, right? I'm pretty sure it was a woman. I can't remember the whole article now. She followed him around and waited till the wedding night and killed them both and killed her. I think she killed herself.
Wow. That's intense.
A beer glass. Guy fell off the pier and there was a beer glass in his jacket or his trousers, and glass like perforated his femoral artery and he bled out. And then somehow she died. I forget. I didn't read the whole article very well.
She went to save him by jumping off and then landed on the same beer glass.
I don't know. A lot of people get hit by cars. There was a couple doing a photo shoot, and I don't think they both died. One of them.
I hope it was like near lava. Like they were just
They were on like a pier, and the pier collapsed. One of them died or something.
That is pretty sad.
Right?
Not pretty sad. It was actually sad.
Another thing that happens is, do you know what ring avulsion is?
No.
There's 150,000 cases a year in the United States.
Is that where your like hand swells up and then your ring gets stuck and then you have to lose a finger?
It could be anything. Could be that the ring gets stuck. It could be that there's a sudden jerking motion. Could be.
Is this the Jimmy Fallon thing?
Yes,
okay.
Fallon had it. Yeah, good eye. So being married is actually dangerous. It's not good for you. It's unhealthy. Do you think it really works out?
For a man to be married?
Yeah, for anyone. I mean, you're pledging your life to someone at 20. You live to be 80. So at 1/4 your life, you're pledging the next 3/4 of your life, right?
Yeah.
Essentially.
There is a point, though, that like if you're in the realm where married people stick with married people and they can't really have friends outside of their married couple, then it's like it gets weird because everyone has their own little island. So if you're not pledging yourself to somebody, eventually all the other people have their own island, and then who you're left with is a nice pool of rejects, I assume.
or people who didn't get married. I mean,
yeah, I'm not going to call them rejects out loud.
Mostly rejects. Mostly rejects. No, you're right. I mean, what does that leave behind? If you're not married by the graph I saw had like 35 as like the 80% of your age group by 35 is married.
That's sad. I was reading something about Tinder. Like, people are getting on Tinder after being married for 6 years, and now they're 28, and they get out, and it's like, it's surprising how many people are coming out of marriages at that point of time. But it makes sense for women. Men are not really driven by a timeline of trying to procreate, so women are stuck to like pre-35 or 40, depending on which study you're reading. So there was a study of like old wives in French labor camps or something.
For the podcast, broads.
Broads, yeah. To be official about it, they said like after 35, your ability to carry a child is really reduced. So if you're a woman, you got to hurry up. But if you're a man, you could be like that Indian guy who procreated at like 90. So you don't have to rush. That might be. I'm not gonna say it. Not gonna say it.
How about gay marriage? Now that you're on the subject.
Now that I'm on the subject, what doesn't bother me?
June 26, 2015, Obergefell versus Hodges. Obergefell versus Hodges. Great court case. Had all to do with the 14th Amendment. I believe it was equal opportunity for all people of some sort.
Okay.
And that by allowing heterosexual couples only to marry, they were awarded the gifts of, like, you know, you get
tax benefits.
Yeah, tax benefits and all that. And you can't do that because you're excluding a group of people for their beliefs or their desires or whatever. So they did a survey in 2007 of the U.S. general populace.
This is like
54% of people opposed gay marriage. 37 supported it. I don't know the numbers in between, so don't tell me they don't add up. By 2016 or I think this one was 17. 32% opposed the idea of gay marriage, and 67 support it. It's literally a flip. Which I say go for it.
It's weird. It's weird that people become more tolerant and open. What was the time difference?
2007 to about a year ago.
That is kind of bizarre.
10 years.
But I guess
you know what it is,
with media,
it's it's media driven. Plus, there's an awakening that's happening where you can now cross the church. It's a real,
well, the church is now in its downfall, I think. But there's also a realization that people are people. You know, not you can't like hide in your own little enclave and then decide that. Well, I guess you can. Certain people can decide that a certain person is your enemy. But now you can read as much as you want about a certain group of people or meet people or make friends with them. And then it's like, oh, I didn't realize that you were the thing I thought I hated. And then that wall comes down and people open themselves up when they start meeting more and more people, avoiding being sheltered.
Actually, up until that 2015 ruling in the Supreme Court, 14 states disallowed gay marriage. And my whole thing with it is like, why do you disallow it? Like, just go for it. Who cares? We're already like talking about weddings or no. Like, weddings they're fun to be at, but what do they mean in the long run? I don't know that they're monumentally powerful. So if that's the truth, why would you even care if 2 men or 2 women want to get married? Like, so go for it. Jesus Christ. You guys want a wedding? They're awful. They're expensive.
Yeah, I feel like this like affects like health insurance too, like domestic partnerships. Like, I feel like they were a new thing like within like the past 10 years. So all of a sudden we're allowed to give our health insurance to other people. And really, that's crucial. Because if you could have a malady that sets you back an entire life's worth of earnings, like, you can't come back from that. Why would you prevent people from being able to cover themselves in a situation like that?
Most people have like a cancer or something that really debilitating, wipes out roughly 15 years of their savings within a year or two.
It's crazy.
I just read this yesterday. Yeah. But that's because healthcare is so good in this country. And ironically, I'm eligible for healthcare at my new job today.
Hey. You're good
I don't
now.
even know if it's free. I'm just gonna do it. Whatever.
Don't even think about it. Just sign.
Mm-hmm.
Check mark.
So we're talking about weddings,
Opa.
gay weddings, Greek weddings, all sorts of weddings, folks.
So do you think they should cost that much?
No, of course not.
How much would you spend? And what would you do? Like, you have to outline.
60,000, and I would do doves everywhere.
I want to just have
doves.
I want to have a wedding on doves. I want doves to carry us into the sky, and we have a wedding into the sky.
I don't care how many doves are killed in this process. That would be awesome. John Woo's wedding would be a dove fest. That'd be good. Nah, you know what? The other reason I won't get married for on the cheap or like as a side is because I think I want the party.
You enjoy the party.
I love it. And can you imagine if I had a wedding? I was like, yeah, we went to the court. We paid a couple $1,000 and we had like 3 people show up and then we left. We had to go to work that day. That's the opposite of me. I want a big
that is true
party. Like, it's like I want the whole.
It's the last chance. I mean, what are the next parties that you're going to go to if you're really in the scheme of things? Is maybe you have a kid's party. You can't party because it's your birthday anymore. I mean, you can, but you're getting older.
You start to push it.
You can't force people to go to that. You can force people to go to your wedding.
Mm-hmm. Some people are socially afraid of like the whole. I have to see so many people. And another thing you didn't bring up, but I know is a fact, is the wedding day goes by so fast because so much is going on.
So let's recap a conversation. It's, oh my God, I can't believe I just was talking to so many people and, I have so little time and I got to go. I got to see you, bye. And it's like, you look great. Congratulations.
I'll catch you later. I wanted to talk about death from, the movie with Antonius Block.
Antonius Block. I have no idea what that is. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I don't get it.
Did I bring this up before? I don't know. Anyway,
maybe
the Seventh Seal.
Yes, boom, that's what it was. God.
Yeah, as she's walking away, you're like, I want to talk about death as a real human character in the Seventh Seal, and she just keeps walking. You're like, never mind.
So
my name is Antonius Block.
If your wedding lasts 7 hours? Is that a normal time?
It's long. Well, okay, sure, 7. We'll say 7.
So that's
commuting, all that. Mm-hmm.
If there are no photos, which is ridiculous, say you have 7 hours with your guests, and you have
140 was the average.
So I'll use 140 because that's even more ridiculous. And 7 hours is generous.
Wedding in 2016. Huh?
You literally have 3 minutes to talk to each. I guess if you're talking to a couple, you could probably have 6 minutes with a couple.
Okay, sure, but even then, that's
you're not eating, you're not dancing, you're not taking photos. It's probably half that. It's probably you have 3 minutes with somebody to talk to somebody.
That's wild. That is crazy. And technically, you probably do it in a smaller window, like more like an hour and a half window.
Yes. So you probably only have. Reduce it. You probably have like 2 minutes to talk to people, and there's no transit time.
Notoriously more time with certain people, right? Your friends, your BFFs,
yes.
your.
So I mean, it's almost like I was touching on this when I went to the wedding, and like the bridesmaids were isolated, and like I knew one of them, so I was saying hi. But it's like it's a weird feeling because they were literally like between the dance floor and all the tables, and that was like a nice 50-foot gap. So it's like I wanted to say hi, but it's like I only have so little time, and then
I only have so much time. I can't walk those feet, those precious seconds
before there's an event.
But it just seems like your parents are always in your ear. Someone here is in your ear. The wedding planner shows
up. They need a photo of this person. Yeah.
Your BFF shows up. He's out of town. Like you want to give him the high five and be like, "Yo, mother F, we're gonna get so effed up." But really, then you're around, you turn around, you're like, Mom, I know, everything's going wonderfully. I'll look into the silverware issue, okay? Someone gave us fake silverware. I ordered the real stuff. Leave me alone. The wife is wondering if this looks okay. Something's broke. Someone had car troubles. One relative always gets car troubles. So it's like, oh my God, Uncle Marty's still at the store. His car broke down. Someone send and get him picked up. And then someone's like, by the way, the flowers were the wrong color. And you're like, oh my God, what? They were the wrong what? And they're like, well, they still came. They were just a different color. I didn't even notice. well, good, sir. Here you go. By the way, we increased the price, this, and then your father's over here, and then the father-in-law's over here, and then someone over there says, hey, you still owe me a dance from high school, sweetie. But it's really your friend. It's probably me. I said that. And just like, there's everything going on at once. And it's like, it's just wild. And that's why the speech is the most important thing. It's when everyone shuts up and listens to me.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like the maid of honor does it better than the groomsman?
Never.
It's
I've
always
never seen that.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a lie. I've had like 3 groomsmen who were only groomsmen because they were brothers.
And they're forced.
Like it wasn't a friend groomsman. Like as a brother, he was like, sometimes people say we fight, but I love my brother Jimmy. We fought one time when I was 7. Remember, Jimmy? I won. I love you guys. Congratulations. Everybody drink. And I was like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
this is
like,
your chance.
Excuse me? Yeah. At that point, I almost wanted to, I want to do speeches at weddings for people who have shitty speakers. I want to be like, listen, I don't know you. Can I make a few things up? I'm going to just put this in here. This is going to be good. Like that Kevin Hart movie where he's like,
he's the professional. Yeah.
Yeah. I could do that. That's probably what I could do for a living, I guess. I don't know. I couldn't lie to people to that extent, so I guess I couldn't do it. But I love going to weddings. I love bringing the cheer, the dance floor, breaking the ice.
There should be a team of people that, it's maybe like 3 or 4 people that come to a wedding, and you pay them to be there to make it more lively for other people. There should be out of that $30K budget, there should be a jester budget. The jesters should be paid $100 a piece just to enjoy their time, make other people enjoy it too.
Is that what a jester was, really? You think we've misplaced it so far that we've made it look like a clown, but really it was just a hilarious guy
who
grew up in Northeast Philly. I don't know.
Born and raised.
We're talking a lot about weddings.
What about most enjoyment at a party?
Making out with a girl, 100%. Love getting sexual on ladies at a party, especially a house party. Oh my god!
I don't think that I ever had. Well, that's not right.
What, like ultimate relations?
Never ladies. Not going all the way. Never 2 ladies at the same party.
Oh, okay.
I'm waiting for you to answer whether that was a.
Not going to respond to that, but I will say, I love parties. The same reason I love weddings is there's groups of people, naturally what happens at any party, whether it's a wedding or not, is that people break off into these groups where it's the best friends from college are over here. Yeah. The aunt and the uncle and the aunt and the uncle and the aunt and the uncle on the one side of the family are over here. Like grandma with her daughter and the one girl who has a lazy eye or something. They're always together. You see them everywhere. It's just groups. They naturally happen. It's like planets out in space. Just collection as mass swirls and all these things happen.
They accrete.
Favorite.
Like people.
Accretion discs. Yeah. Good eye. Oof. Anyway, my thing is I love to get into each orbit and just tell a joke. Get a smile. I love going group to group. I can be a little different in every group. If it's the old ladies, I'm not saying "fucks up, bitches."
That might work. That might work.
Really fun. That might actually work. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, I'm like, "Yo, what's up, ladies? Everybody want to dance?" And I do a little fake dance move, and I don't know. It's so much fun going group to group and smiling and slapping hands and kissing people's babies, whether they want the baby kissed or not. And then just going group, just having fun. I love it. And I do that at parties, college house parties. Oh my god.
But you have to know I feel like you have to know the hosts. You have to know the setting.
Oh yeah. You don't do that at a stranger house party. If you snuck in or something, you might as well just keep the hell quiet and stay with your little group. Mm-hmm. And then eventually the group will come around and find you guys as a group hey, what's going on? Who do you guys know here? This is wild.
You have to know the other person's their situation.
Yeah.
So they're the person of the group that brings you out of your group, and then you're we found each other, and then you click.
You have to find the right people.
So I guess the best house party, I feel like sophomore year of college was great because we had an apartment that was like not co-located, but it was in a decent location that brought everyone together. And probably I think we used to play quarters a lot, or like skippies. You know skippies, right? Is that the same thing?
Drink?
You named, yeah, the drink.
Yeah, the drink. Okay.
Country
Yeah,
time
you
lemonade.
mix it in a trash can or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you use
Sprite and
Bush,
vodka.
like a case of Bush and and
beer.
What beer did they add? Do you know? Actually,
It was probably like a Keystone, actually.
Yeah,
it's the cheapest
baby.
you can get. So like of that stuff probably costs maybe $100. I doubt it.
I was gonna say 50.
I was gonna say 50 actually.
Because it's like $12 for the beer. Trust me, Keystone Light was $9.99 when I went to college, and there was no sales tax because it was in Delaware.
And the vodka would probably be the most expensive part, but you can get the shittiest vodka.
You could buy $20 vodka.
Yeah, but I don't think it made a difference if it was good or bad.
Skippy.
I just remember everyone just almost like a simultaneous blackout, and then you just feel fun for like hours. Yeah. I don't know. This is not condoning with the Skippy Skippy Fest, but it was probably one of the best nights of my life. Not gonna lie.
It was at your house?
Yeah, which is probably illegal at the time. I guess I shouldn't say that. So I was definitely underage.
Statute of limitations. I think you're okay.
Yeah, but those times it's just because everyone's down and no one is isolating themselves. And there's no
one's
societal,
like, I gotta leave.
Yeah.
No one's doing weird things. No one's like, I don't know if I should be here. Everyone goes hard. Everyone goes 100%. Everyone is having a good time. You don't get that anywhere but college, I think. Because even now at the parties we go to, 3 or 4 people will definitely be willing to go hard. 2 of them will. One of them is like, my wife is sick.
Yes.
My kid, I gotta go home. And you're like, what are you gonna tell them? No, like, you can't say no. I mean, you're like, of course, that's fine. But it's just the numbers are fewer. There's not as many people doing the all or nothing anymore. So we did a party where an illegal substance that you can find in balloons.
Okay. Someone
may or may not have an entire canister of that substance and brought balloons. And we won a championship. And in the men's league C, literally the best championship of my life. We won in overtime, I think. Yeah. Against Connective. Fuck Connective.
Jerks.
We partied so hard. Like, when you do these big epic parties, it's a little bit like high school movies where they show all the nerds and the jocks and the cool kids and the hot girls and the nerdy guys and the awkward dudes.
It all merges together.
And there's like 30 people, and I'd be in my back stoop, and I remember we were so messed up on so many things that night, and I'd be on the back patio being like, yo, listen to this, and it was like just some jam I had on my phone, and like 3 people were like nodding, and I was like, that's like life. I don't know what I was thinking or saying, but everyone nodded in agreement, and they were like, yeah. And you have heart-to-hearts with people you don't usually have heart-to-hearts with.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's hooking up with someone who they never would have hooked up with. Wild stuff's happening. Like, I think at that party, someone picked someone up as like a joke, like a friend. When guys fight, you know what I mean? Like 20-year-olds, they got the testosterone in them. Picked them up and threw them at our table where like we were playing beer pong. He split that table right in half. It broke, just shattered. That table sat broken in our dining room for like 6 months because we refused to throw it out and it wasn't fixable and it just sat broken there. But it was like a testament to that party, a testament to so many things that happened, and I was like, this is wild. And that's why I love parties.
I miss that all in, everyone's all in feel.
Yeah, because certain people will never go all in again. Like a lot of housewives, like they're done. They don't do all in anymore.
It's so sad. It's such a sad thing.
It is. And there comes a point where you transition your life, but you still gotta have a few of those, don't you? I don't know.
Do you think there's a resurgence? Yeah, what is that thing?
Okay. So we went to a crew party, and we hated the crew kids, but we always went to their parties because we had an in. these jackets were popular back in the day. You know, you got back in my day, expensive too, like over $100. We went to a party and the guys were being real dicks to everyone. We're like, you guys gotta clean it up, whatever. And looking back, maybe they weren't. Maybe they just were telling us not to drool on their house or like break things in their house.
Mm-hmm.
But we were partying. Like, come on, man. One of my group stole this jacket, saw it there in the closet, and just took it, and we ran. So, me, I'm like the one person who I'm like against stealing. I'm against like that's not cool to me. I don't know. I remember being like, I'm gonna hold this and get it to its rightful owner. Well, I wore it to class every day. I fell in love with the thing. It was awesome. It was called the stolen coat, and we would take turns. Like if you're going out on a date or something,
would wear it.
You would lend the stolen coat to someone. But I ended up with it at the end, and I love that coat. It's awesome. This one's Akira. So if you're listening, dude, who lost it at a party, it was us. Really apologize. You can sue someone else because I didn't actually steal it. I just held on to the stolen goods.
Your offense.
Yeah, I didn't want them to prosper from stealing. So really, you did a good job. Yeah, this is Akira.
The only time I ever stole anything from a party was a button, and I think it said something about being friendly. I don't know why I grabbed it. I forget what it was really about, but I don't know. I guess sometimes the kleptomaniac comes out in people, and they're just like, I was just remembering this one thing. The party wasn't.
Did any of your friends take like a deuce in the upper part of the toilet or anything like that?
I don't think they got that far.
Okay, good.
Those are different kinds of parties.
Yeah.
There's definitely a shit show aspect to. That's another thing. It's like for people like you and me, like there were times where I was legitimately studying and people would bust in and start having a party and I'd just be like, fuck this assignment, let's go party. Like whenever that would happen and if it would wake me up, I'd be pissed for about half a second and then I'd be like, this is a moment to do something great. Just enjoy myself, and I would do it. So there's many people out there that probably were thinking like, if you're young and going to college and you feel like, oh, this is the time I need to sleep, it's probably not. You know, you don't get to enjoy with like dozens of your friends something that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, you're right. That's so weird.
And weddings try to recapture that, but there's so many people that have different lives, and you have family and
we're driving, we're not staying over. Make someone watch your goddamn kid. Go wild. It's your chance to reclaim youth. Do it.
But and you also don't have the like random hookups at the end of the night either. I mean, you do to some extent.
You do, but not as much as you used to. Right?
The ratio is much lower than what it used to be.
Where there's even one less available, one less couple available.
Kind of makes me want to go back and be young again. I wonder if there's a phase of going back and being young when you're like, maybe when your kids go off to college. Can you relive it at 40?
I've seen this. A lot of parents, when their kids finally go away, like they have 3 kids, high school, college, and they're like, oh, the little shits. Finally, they go away. Well, like their neighborhood friends, you'll notice they're always in the neighborhood, and they're like, oh, everyone goes over to Mikey's house, and it's like, what? And they're like, yeah. And if you get to see what happens, they go over there and they get slammed, and they can walk home. Like they're like, they go back to partying, like college-ish partying. I don't know what goes on at all these houses with these 50 to 60 groups of adults, but it's like, I feel like they're reliving it. Like they have better social lives than people who are new parents, like our age group. You know what I mean? Like in the 30s,
Guess
you're
people
like,
hope.
I got kids, I'm busy. It does. I mean, not everybody does, but there are a big group of them. They go out there and they get their wine on and they laugh and they throw big parties and crap like that. Who knows what happens, man? Do you think they get sexy at like a 50 to 60 party? It could. I have no idea.
I guess at that point you don't give a shit and you're so tired of your significant other.
I bet they do. There's probably a lot of sexy stuff going on, like a 50 and 60 party where like all the kids are gone. So I'm not saying swapping. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying maybe they're swapping. Maybe they're just swapping spit. Okay.
Do you think it's still sexy for like if you're looking at like a 40, 50-year-old? Do you think that matters to you if you're the same age? Do you think it's like equally sexy?
I look at it this way. So when I was 20 or 18 and I looked at someone 30 or 32, that had like a tiny bit of a beer gut, I'd be like, that's disgusting. You know what I mean? I'd be like, can you imagine that? And it's like, ha ha ha, I'm 18 and happy. And I have a high metabolism. And now I'm 32 and I'm like, you know what I mean?
Drinking your
So I
coffee.
think it'll keep changing.
How many packets of sugar in that coffee?
Woo!
I don't know what else there is to cover.
I think we cover most of it. I mean, anyone wants to talk about weddings that they've been to? I went to a lot of banger weddings. Like, I've been to some rich people weddings. Kind of awesome. Way overkill. Like, the one was in this crazy hall up in, what's the rich area that has the whale symbol? New Hampshire.
Okay. Oh, the Hamptons?
Martha's Vineyard.
Okay.
And that one was a wild wedding. But like that was like, big, huge building. It takes like 8 minutes to walk just up the steps, and like marble everywhere and granite everywhere. And I think I'm thinking of anyway, my job. But anyway, no. But I've been to some awesome weddings, and the food was ridiculous. And ultimately, though, it does boil down to the people, which is sort of our party talk. I mean, it's all about the people. Time, the place, they help. Who's getting wild, man? I want to get wild at some weddings.
Can we even go back?
Yeah, I think you can still get wild. At a wedding? I guess that's it.
I feel like
we're going to be the 60-year-old guys making inside jokes with a 30-year-old, buying them beer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess.
A little bit happy, a little bit sad.
Yeah, it's both. I don't know, man. Weddings, celebrations, parties.
Such a bummer.
Say it like that. It's a real downer.
Yeah. I think that's all we got. A recap? Do we talk about the food, talk about the wine, talk about
how expensive toasting, it is. We talked about all that shit.
Best men. Best women.
I have to figure out who my best men would be.
We're going to do a Hydra of Dans.
Well, that's what I was going to do. I was going to do a college Dan, a high school Dan, and a grade school Dan. But then I think Ryan gets all bent out of shape.
Oh, he's going to get all teary-eyed.
Well, and then there's like my brother-in-law. I love him.
Who would be the best is the question.
Really? Do you want to know the actual answer?
Yeah, who would give the best speech? Regardless
Probably Dan. Dan.
I'll take that myself.
We'll see. I'm gonna find that special someone that makes my heart go aflutter. She doesn't yell at me for being too loud right now. Nope, we're good.
We do.
Well, folks, thanks for joining in. If you have anything to add about weddings, about wedding stories, about parties, I mean, we could do a whole episode on college parties, but we didn't want to go too far into it. We just wanted to touch on it. But if you have anything to add, please, please, please donate at least $1,000 to our Patreon and put a comment down there. That's cool.
Yeah, just
anything you want to add?
Just one comment. That's all we need. It's a little push.
We like you, folks. Each and every one of you. We like you a lot.